More isolated storms this afternoon. Once again, the main threats are going to be large hail and damaging winds, but that tornado threat has gone up a little bit from yesterday. We do have a bit more low-level shear that could provide some rotation, so we really want you to be weather aware. It's another first alert weather day for us. But here is a look at the storm reports that we had over the last 24 hours. You can tell they're mainly from hail reports. We just showed you it was rather significant size hail. We do have that potential again later this evening. The timing of storms today is going to be a little bit later than what we had yesterday, but it's also a first alert weather day for your Monday as well. Once again in the afternoon, especially east of 35, we're going to be watching for that potential of strong to severe storms, and then tomorrow all hazards are possible, so that would include tornadoes. But for today, we are on that level 2 slight risk of severe storms. We are going to be watching for storms to develop along the dry line to our west. That's probably going to happen closer to about 4 to 5 o'clock, and then they'll be tracking east from there. So this looks to be a little bit later in the evening that we'll see these isolated storms moving in. The coverage is going to be less than what we had yesterday, but any storm that moves over you is really going to pack a punch. That's why it's a first alert weather day. But that first alert satellite and radar just showing cloudy skies across our area. It is going to be a breezy day for us. We're already sitting at 76 degrees. Temperatures will be warming up into the upper 80s this afternoon. And because we still have that high humidity, once again, we are going to be feeling like those mid 90s to even upper 90s before the storms arrive, Robbie. But with another round on the way Monday, we'll have a look at First Alert Futurecast.
A busy few days. Thank you so much.
Typical for us that we have several rounds of strong to severe storms. Most of our day today is going to be dry, but we are looking at isolated storms moving in this evening that could be severe. And once these storms start to go up, they could reach severe limits very quickly. And that's why we want you to have multiple ways to get those warnings so that when that warning is issued, you can immediately take action. But we're also waking up to very cloudy skies. There's a lot of humidity out there. We've got temperatures in the upper 70s. We are going to see those temperatures climbing, tracking over the past couple of days. And we have a few more rounds to get through. One this afternoon and then another tomorrow. So they're both first alert weather days. Today, the coverage is going to be more isolated than what we had on Saturday. But because these storms could quickly become severe and they are going to be impactful where they develop, that's why it's a first alert weather day. We're also looking at the timing of the storms just a little bit later today. We'll likely start to see them developing out to the west, closer to 4 to 5, and then getting into the Metroplex or up along the Red River a little bit later in the evening hours. So most of our Sunday is going to be dry. It's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy and very breezy with southerly winds gusting to 25 to 30 miles an hour. We could get an isolated shower out ahead of these storms, but it's really going to be closer to about 5 o'clock that we'll start to see them developing along that dry line and then racing off to the northeast. So here's a look at 7 o'clock. And we'll likely start seeing them in our northwest areas, and it's really going to be along the Red River that we're going to be watching as we head into the late evening hours. So around 9 to 10 o'clock, we'll likely still be tracking some of them, maybe up towards the Sherman area, but then conditions will start to quiet down a bit more as we get into the overnight hours from there. So main concerns still large hail and damaging winds, but that tornado threat is slightly higher than it was yesterday. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on that. And that's just for your Sunday, which we are going to see a lot of clouds continuing to move in from the west today. We've got those temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 70s. It's feeling very muggy outside. Luckily, we have that breeze to help move the air around a little bit, but those rain chances starting to go up as we head into the late afternoon hours. And our temperatures will be topping out in the upper 80s, but we'll be feeling closer to the mid to upper 90s, very similar to yesterday. Now let's talk about tomorrow. We could start off with a couple of showers, but notice that we do have that level 3 enhanced risk. It has been extended a little bit further south to include the Metroplex. This is mainly going to be for tomorrow afternoon. Even though First Alert Futurecast could bring in a couple of showers in the first part of our day, I think the severe threat goes up into the afternoon hours with more of that daytime heating, and that's when we're going to be watching for some of those thunderstorms to be bubbling up, especially along and east of I-35. And we are watching for all modes of severe weather tomorrow as well. So tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, maybe some localized flooding, but these storms are going to be moving very quickly. So that will be the least of our threats. But behind this, we're looking at a cold front that moves in on Tuesday. So look at our morning temperatures. They are going to be cooling back down into the 60s for Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to get a couple of quiet days, but then our temperatures are going to start to heat back up as we head into next weekend.